Alright, you freaking Xterra degens out there. If you're into BDSM or sadism or whatever god you pray to, this video is going to make you feel pain. Because I am going to feel pain. So you're going to feel pain. The motor mounts on this thing are shot. It's got 209,000 miles on it. I beat the living piss out of this thing any given moment because it is a supercharged 5-speed truck. But one motor mount went, I knew it was going out, and I lived on it for a little while, and the second motor mount is now toast. This motor moves around a lot, and everything's misaligned. The shifter's misaligned. Everything's fucked. I bet the trans mount's probably also toast, but it's fine. But today it's getting one normal motor mount, which I believe is passenger side, but I also believe that they're reversible, so you can do left or right, doesn't matter, whichever is easier. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put the harder to install, whatever side's harder to take out, I'm going to put the rugged rocks in that side because it's a smaller part and it should fit better, and then the easier side to get out is going to have a stock OEM style motor mount that I think I got off of Rockot over eBay or whatever. But, as you know, these things are an utter fucking nightmare to work on. I really don't want to drop the front diff if I don't have to. I really don't want to have to pull the exhaust manifolds off. And I'm dreading doing this job. And I've put it off for almost a year now because of the just utter pain in the ass it's going to be on my hands, on my back, having to lift up the motor. It's a shit show. So come along with me in my journey of pain and suffering and very little performance gain at best. Let's get to it, shall we? Alright. Okay, this must have been eBay because it's a TRQ part. This is the Rugged Rocks solid mount. It has no washers in it, which is not great. I'm not super happy about that. And this is also not bolted down, even though it's a lock washer. So I guess this guy gets somehow torqued when you're in the car. I think it's poly. Yeah, it's poly. Not poly D from fucking Jersey Shore, but it's poly mount. Probably gonna tighten this guy before I put it in the actual truck. But it's just straight up bolts. It's weird. I'm gonna have to find washers to put in this guy, but in the comparison of size to the factory part, huge difference. Like, this thing will probably be an utter pain. I've said utter like 15 times at this point. And this guy comes with washers, and it comes with a nicer bolt set, so that's great. I might actually just swap the bolts from one to the other if it's the same thread pitch. It is not. One's SAE, one's metric. Great. Anyway. I actually tried returning this thing at one point because it was expensive and I didn't think I needed it, but I've heard good reviews and I've heard you only need one to kind of stiffen up the situation. So hopefully this guy comes out easily-ish, but it's so freaking wide. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, my plan of attack is to pull the wheels and front wheels off so I can get access through the fender liners, which I don't even think I have on this thing anymore, but I might. I'll have to see. I'll film it in a second. But get the wheels and tires off the front and then put a piece of wood underneath the trans bell housing and lift the motor up. Since they're toast, it doesn't matter. And I have a cold air intake, so I don't really have to worry about stretching the intake. And everything else should be fine. So I'm just going to lift the motor up as high as it'll go, and hopefully that'll give me enough space to get into things. Again, this is going to be a total shit show, and I'm going to have to be extremely patient with myself and use every tool that I have, and maybe tools I don't even have yet, so we'll see. But I really, really hope that it is easy to get to. I will show you in a few minutes what it looks like under the hood, but the driver's side seems to be harder because the front diff is right there, like that sucker is right below the motor mount. But then again, behind the alternator on that side there's some space to work with. I'm hoping I can just get the skid plate off and get up into there and maybe get swivel and some sockets. Hopefully, it's maybe a shallow socket up in there, and just kind of work it out. The passenger side looks easier to get to, so that's probably going to be the side that gets the stock side. But then again, I've tried to look under there, and it's just the cat is in a weird spot, so it's a toss-up, honestly. Let's get to work. Okay, so this is gonna be actually I've never taken a video of how much this motor is moving. So this is kind of a demonstration of how much your motor can move with bad motor mounts or shop motor mounts. And we've all seen videos, but none of the Xterra, which is kind of a good thing. So I think I'm the first guy to show this as being bad. I need to put more power straight fluid in there. But yeah, the thing is toast. You can actually kind of tell that the motor is sitting off kilter from where it is from the factory, which is not good. The fan shroud did contact the fan did contact the fan shroud a little bit, and it's not pretty. But it's fine, I can fix that later. But yeah, let's see how she looks. This is a cold start too. The motor, I can vouch, the motor definitely shifts. Like you can feel the shifter moving. Like the center console you have to like push reverse up and it'll move the center console. And eventually in the before and after, we'll see that the motor will be sitting more normal to the chassis. But yeah, let's get going and jack up the front end and get the wheels and tires off. Alright, that took way too long, like half an hour, but I was finally able to get the truck up on the jack stands and put some supports in places. They're very jank because I don't have the right setup, but it's fine. The wheel arch covers are off of this thing. It's just clips that you just pull out with a clip puller. And this is your passenger side motor mount. That bolt right there that you're staring at, that's going to be the one you're going to pull out from the top. And then you've got two bolts down here, right above the pitman arm. Those two bolts on that left corner here, they need to come out. And those are the lower bolt lower nuts for the motor mount. I'll show you in a minute how I'm gonna hopefully get the motor up and around, but we'll see how it goes. This is the driver's side. This one is gonna be harder to get access to those nuts. You can see right there the nut for the top bracket is up there behind the steering shaft. Not easy to get to, but you can see that the mount is like looks different for some reason, but it could just be me. But that's relatively easy to get to. I might just have to disconnect some stuff, but we'll see how I can get access to it. But getting to those bolts. Oh man, not me. The stupid is causing it to do that, but you can't even see them, but they're up under there. Oh, there they are. They're way over there on the left. Those guys need to come out. So let's see how that works out. Oh, again. All right. Because my jack is not tall enough and I can't find my jack pads, I'm using the impact socket to press up on the drain plug area of the trans. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen the trans mount bolts really quick. Hopefully this is the right size socket, and that'll hopefully allow us to lift the motor up a little more than, and that's not a 15, no, it's a 14. Fuck me. I need to go get a socket really quick Great. All right. Holy moly, those are really fucking tight. I should have PB blasted them ahead of time. Let me get my breaker bar. Let's see if my impact will do it, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's got enough juice left in it to get up in there and do this. Wow, those are fucking, oh, no shit. Okay, that one came out. Nice. Let me just hit this one more time. In there. Okay, that one's gonna get the breaker bar and my musculos. Wow, that thing is really stuck in there. Okay, this is where we four-wheel drive guys in the Xterra world are forked pretty bad. So the passenger side is right there. Once you have the skid plate off, it's right there. It's pretty damn easy to get to. I mean, it's the bolts up there on top, and you got the two bolts right there. This will probably be an hour to swap out max. Get a socket in there, kind of jam it up in there, and get it out. Now for the four-wheel drive guys, you saw the top bolt already that I filmed earlier, but our bolts to get access to the bottom of the motor mount are right there, and I can't really express to you easily how little space there truly is. It's less than an inch. So it is going to be almost impossible to get access to that without possibly dropping the front diff, which I really don't want to do if I don't have to, because that'd mean taking out this bolt, which really wouldn't give you more than half an inch, and that bolt, which is still, again, wouldn't give you more than maybe half an inch to play with. So I'm gonna try my best to swap out that driver's side guy and just use as much mechanical prowess as I have stored in my brain. But if not possible, then I'll probably just get the single mount swapped out today. I really hope that I bought the right side part, because now that I'm looking at it, the parts may not be interchangeable. Well, the Rugged Rocks is definitely interchangeable, but the other mount that I bought might not be interchangeable, so we'll have to see. Fork. What is this piece of rubber? Oh, that's part of my motor mount. So this guy is definitely really bad. This guy is definitely bad. And this guy's like collapsed. Like, this guy's not even there anymore. Oh, it's gonna be a long day. Very long day. Okay, good news. One of these swivel ratcheting wrenches will easily fit in that gap. So that's good. That's one thing less to worry about. So let's get that guy out of there. And we can actually jack up the motor once I get the other side out. And then we'll see about tackling the bottom bolts. Yeah. this is gonna suck so bad. Oh, this is gonna be terrible. This is gonna be so bad. Oh man, the diff is like not even close to getting. Well, you know what? If I get up under here, maybe, just maybe, just maybe, I might be able to stick a ratchet in there. As of right now, I'm still figuring out how I'm gonna get access to those bolts. Swivel will get there, but it's still super tight. But tech tip, to get access to that bolt, you can go from the bottom. Right there, I think, right there. Should be able to see it. But should be able to get a ratchet onto this guy from the bottom, just all the way up to the bottom to that back bolt, and you're on it. So easy. All right, I'm still working on trying to get that bolt out, those nuts off, but I found out why my truck has been acting so funky, and the top mount and the bolt are just like not even in there anymore. They're just completely separate. Let me go from the side. So this is the top stud of the mount, or at least it's supposed to be in there, but oh my god, it got itself stuck now. I need to stay there, buddy. But yeah, this is supposed to be the top. The stud's back there now. It's freaking walked itself into oblivion, which is nice. And it's like razor sharp, and now it's stuck between the motor and the bracket. But crap! Now I got this thing fucking stuck. God damn it! Oh, there we go. I got it now. Huh. Great. There's the heat shield. And there's the top of the motor mount. It is no longer motor mounting. So this is just the last part I need to get off the truck, and then should be free. I hope. Oh man, that's gonna be such a pain in the ass to get out. But anyway, that's your problem. If you have a motor mount issue, that's probably it. Okay, so I was able to get the back bolt off. You're not gonna believe how I did it. So this is not the right size. This is a 9/16 Mac wrench with the extended what's called more of an aggressive angle than a normal standard wrench. A little more raised on this side. So this guy I tucked in back here and was able to get it to sit kind of. Let me see if I can. Great. Let's see if I can just reposition this really quick. I'll show you guys how it worked out. But you gotta go from underneath and stick it in like that. And stick it in like that. So you go from underneath. It's gonna fall now because it's not no tension, but you stick it in like that. It'll be in this general area. Okay. Now, this is where the part gets weird. I had to make a tool. Use metal zip ties to get around the box side of the wrench while this thing's in the place, and pull it from this side to get leverage, because it's just going straight across, because this guy actually sits pretty good with this particular wrench. And after a while it got loose. They're really not torqued in very much. I'm not gonna be able to really get much torque on this thing anyway, but it is loose. I highly recommend you guys PB Blast. Where the fuck did the nut go? PB Blast the nut if you don't live in California before you do, because that guy is a pain to get out. Okay, this is currently kind of a theory still, but I'm thinking that, well, I've got the oil filter off because I don't have enough space to get leverage on the bolt or on the nut. I got the back one off, as I mentioned a second ago, but I can't get enough leverage on the wrench, so I'm going to try the double wrench method once it's done dripping oil. But I need the space that the oil filter takes up. So I'll see if that works. I've already tried that pull method, but that one's pretty seized in there. I should have PB blasted it ahead of time. I'm going to spray some on right now But hopefully this helps. All right.
Only experience it.
Yes.
In the game or like,
yeah.
or in real life.
Yeah.
You just need like, you see that one car like, oh.
Yeah. And these are like nobody cares about them anyway. Yeah. Anyway, so I was able to pull the oil filter to give myself more space, and I was able to use the 9/16 map wrench that has the extendo guy up here and the double wrench method to loosen that bolt, and it is officially out. Now, here is why this thing has been skipping around like there's no tomorrow. This guy and this guy, they're like a divorced couple, you know? They used to be nice, everything was happy, and eventually one day, boop, and then this has been doing this mabobber for a while. Look how bad that is. I mean, this has got 200,000 miles on it, but toast. Very toasty. Yeah, I cannot wait to be done with this stupid job. And I lost my bolt in the fucking oil drain pan. So, very fun. It'll all go back together the same way I took it apart, hopefully, and it'll be done soon. Okay. I have two gripes when it comes to the rugged rocks or rigid rocks, whatever, the poly mount. There's no washer. I mean, there's no washers. There's no, like, crush washers, nothing. It's just straight up lock nuts, which aren't bad. It's just weird. So I found this type of nut with the bevel, whatever, this guy, and I put one on top just for now. I'm gonna try to put one of these underneath, but it's so small I might just do it from the front. Maybe I can just get some more access to it, but we'll see. I'm gonna put one on the back like this so it has better clamping force. But it's in. You just gotta loosen the bolt there to angle it properly, and then slowly lower the motor on there, and then you just tighten those two guys with a 7/8 and a 13/16, and you should be good to go. Tighten everything and put everything back together. Don't forget to put your trans mount bolts back in and lower the motor and put the wheels and tires back on, and give that about 500 miles to break in because it's poly, and you should be mounted. I will show the angle of the motor after I'm done, and we'll go from there, and we'll see how much movement there is. Whoa. Okay. Okay, so it's like 3 hours later. It feels like, at least. It probably is, honestly. I've been working on this for like 5 hours straight, and I got everything, the motor mounts and everything reconnected, tightened down, and I forgot about the trans mount. So mine was off kilter, and it makes sense because it's been under a specific load for a while. And what I ended up having to do to make it fit back in the holes, because it was not aligned properly and there was no way of moving it, is I loosened up the two 17 millimeter nuts in the studs that go in the trans there and there. They're really tough, so probably want to soak these ahead of time. And after some wiggly diggly, I was able to make the studs, the bolts, whatever you want to call them, and the trans mount line up with the motor mounts lined up. So now I just got to retighten everything, and we should be finally done. Okay. Job is done. It was pretty bad. Took me about 6 hours. Now, if I had known some of the things ahead of time, probably could have saved myself an hour and a half, 2 hours, but so it is what it is. But I'm exhausted. It was a huge mess. I don't know if I'd still pay for someone to do this job. It's a lot of work. It's like $1,000 in labor at least, and you can do it within a day. It's not that bad. And knowing what I know now, it would have been a lot easier, for sure. I hope it works. We'll see. I'm about to move this camera and then see how it feels. It's gonna shake a little bit, vibrate a little bit, but we'll see. Okay, I can already tell that the motor is sitting straighter in the engine bay, but let's see how she starts up. Just my luck. It doesn't want to start. Nice. Well, that's fun. Now I gotta troubleshoot the starter problem.